Midseason Showdown. We are going to be featuring a match with Owen, Wright versus Youm. Youm is on the left and Owen is on the right. Brian bringing a very interesting team here. We have Inteleon, Whimsicott, Darmanitan, Galar, Charizard, Duraludon, and Snorlax. Meanwhile, Owen has got Dragapult, Togekiss, Excadrill, T-Tar, Arcanine, and Roserade.
This is the kind of nonsense I wanted. Yes.
So we're getting to see some pretty unconventional picks, but obviously some
Well,
Pokemon.
from Brian.
Yeah. I mean, Owen with Roserade is definitely a Pokemon we haven't seen very much in the current VGC 2020 format.
We see the Tyranitar on Owen's side of the field. The Tyranitar's mini sprite. This is my first time seeing it in a while. It's kind of cute, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like they changed Tyranitar's mini sprite like every generation, but I feel like they really got it right this time.
The Snorlax. So Brian's team seems like it is pretty susceptible to the Roserade if the Sleep Powder hits the Duraludon. I guess the Charizard exists and the Darmanitan exists. It's not really that susceptible, but the Roserade does put out a lot of pressure against a lot of the Pokemon. The Tyranitar on the team indicates potentially that the Excadrill on Owens is going to be Sand Rush,
right,
which could be very useful for the Darmanitan and very useful for the Whimsicott and the Inteleon. But it might mean that the Whimsicott on Brian's team for the Charizard has Sunny Day in order to counteract the Tyranitar and the Excadrill. Just things that both players are probably considering going in the team preview. I'm not sure what Inteleon does. I think it gets Soak. But I don't think there's a reason for it to use Soak on this team.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast it is. I don't know anything.
Inteleon is very fast.
Is it faster than Whimsicott? Is it 117, 116? Because that'd be super funny.
I think Whimsicott's 115.
Whimsy's 116.
116. Okay, I want to say Inteleon is faster.
I want to say it. Okay. Arcanine switches out to Roserade.
Well, we're going to see a Dynamax here, actually, from the... I believe this is going to be Inteleon.
Is it Fake Tears plus Inteleon? This is just going to be so funny. I want to see something.
All right, we're going to see Inteleon Dynamax here.
He's so skinny.
A lot of people give Inteleon flack, but I really like the aesthetic that he has the finger guns.
So skinny.
I can't wait to see the finger guns with the Max Geyser here. I think it's
setting up the Tailwind against the Arcanine Togekiss. Arcanine switch into the Roserade. I'm not sure that Tailwind was necessary for that specific turn. Max Vortex going into the Roserade, or is it Max Vortex?
Max Geyser.
Darn it. Max Geyser going into the Roserade, doing over half. That's a lot of damage, and the next one's going to be stronger.
But the Yawn coming out
Yawn going out from the Togekiss into the Inteleon, really cutting its Dynamax opportunities, limiting it down to the one knockout.
Or two knockouts if he decides he wants to put it to sleep.
Well, then he only gets the one knockout.
That's fair. Actually,
he hasn't gotten a knockout yet.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on how much rain boosted Max Geyser does to Togekiss.
So then, my friend, that's one knockout.
That is true. If it doesn't get the knockout on Togekiss,
that is worthless.
But instead, we're gonna see Whimsicott switch out here for the Duraludon. Ooh, that Duraludon's shiny.
Ooh, very shiny.
And we have the Togekiss just going for Follow Me. Actually, Brian's gonna leave his Inteleon in here, so we're gonna see how much this. Actually going to go for Max Hailstorm this time.
That might knock out the Togekiss.
Yeah, with the Life Orb boost.
Oh, not even close.
Oh, actually, yeah, Togekiss. We are so sorry, Togekiss. We are so sorry for disrespecting your bulk.
Yeah, and Sleep Powder probably goes into Duraludon slot because the Yawn was putting the Inteleon to sleep. Sludge Bomb instead going into the Duraludon slot. So kind of wish it was a Sleep Powder.
Yeah, Sleep Powder would have been really nice there, as Duraludon switching in would have had both of Brian's Pokemon put to sleep, and that would have been both of them would have been taking guaranteed sleep turns next turn. But instead, Inteleon going to spend its last turn of Dynamax asleep.
Yeah, Duraludon puts out a lot of pressure against Togekiss Roserade, but again, it is still susceptible to a Sleep Powder if Roserade actually has it. Togekiss doesn't have anything it really needs to do here, but I guess Brian, having Tailwinded the turn previously, is able to get a Flash Cannon out before the Sleep Powder, so that's probably why he prioritized going for it. And now he can Flash Cannon the Roserade before he gets a Sleep Powder off.
Yeah, Arcanine feeling pretty safe to switch in here, considering its biggest threat, Inteleon, is now asleep. Duraludon, like you said, going to be able to get a Flash Cannon off here since it is the fastest thing on the field. He's going to go into the Arcanine, not doing a whole lot of damage at all. And here we're going to see Roserade go for the Sleep Powder into the Duraludon, but it does miss.
That's really unfortunate for Owen. When you're running Roserade, you kind of really need to hit your Sleep Powders when you go for the Sleep Powders. And unfortunately for Owen, he's 0 for 1 on stream right now, and that Duraludon lives another turn to knock out the Roserade.
It's funny because when we streamed the last Ultra Series mid-season, we feel like we didn't see Sleep Powder miss at all.
I don't think Sleep Powder's ever missed.
And this first Sleep Powder we see on this stream in the new format, the new year, the new decade, is a miss.
That is a shame for Owen. Brian got
good
the
at
hit.
all.
He got the miss. We're going to see what Owen decides to do this turn. His Dynamax is still live. Brian's is no longer on the field, but even if he Dynamaxes the Arcanine, he's not doing enough damage to Duraludon to stop it from getting another hit into the Roserade, forcing potentially a Protect from the Roserade. But no Dynamaxes to be seen. Dragon Pulse knocking out the Roserade before he gets another Sleep Powder off, leaving Arcanine free to potentially Snarl. Oh, it's a
Or
close combat.
into the
Not going to
Duraludon.
knock it. Oh, does it?
It does knock
That's
it out.
a knockout. That looks to me like a Life Orb or CB Arc. We'll see if there's any recoil at the end of it. No recoil. That looks like a CB Arc to me, because that was a lot of damage.
Yeah, usually Duraludon is able to live close combat, or at least like any strong fighting type move, because it's very good on the defensive side, not so good on the special defensive side. So yeah, that knockout might indicate that this Arcanine is a boosting item. Well, it would have to be Choice Band at this point, since we didn't see any recoil from Life Orb. But we're gonna see the Togekiss come back on Owen's side, and we're gonna see the Darmanitan come in on Brian's side.
Cowan is no longer up, I don't think, on Brian's side of the field, but Darmanitan Galar is frequently equipped with a Choice Scarf, so it's more often... It's going to be faster than either the Togekiss or the Arcanine. The Darmanitan is weak to close combat, so if the Arcanine goes for it, it would still get knocked out, but I think Owen is considering maxing the Arcanine, so if it was Choice Banded, it no longer gets the Choice Band attack boost, but it can switch its moves to better equip itself to deal with the situation and to give itself more bulk in order to eat a hit with -1 defense.
Yeah, it possibly anticipating that it's going to be taking an attack from the Inteleon here, since Darmanitan will be going first if it is carrying that Choice Scarf.
Arcanine's really hoping that the Inteleon stays asleep. I think it's still asleep, right?
Yes.
So Icicle Crash into the Togekiss, getting the clean knockout. The question is whether this Inteleon wakes up, and that's what seals the game for Owen.
Yeah, if it actually is Choice Banded Arcanine, the Dynamax is actually really good for
Still
him here,
asleep.
because now he can
Max
max
Gigable.
Lightning.
Yep, right into that guy. Icicle Crash into the Arcanine for the following turn. Even at -1 defense, when Dynamax is not going to do too much damage, regardless of how strong the Darm is.
Yeah, especially now that he's Dynamaxed, not going to be doing a whole lot of damage at all. And now Brian down to his last Pokemon, which is going to be that Darmanitan, which is locked into the Icicle Crash. And yeah, Owen basically just able to pick up the... Oh, actually, sorry, Brian has
Whimsicott. I think Owen has another Pokemon too.
Yeah, he has Excadrill, which we're just seeing for the first time. I don't know why I said... Wait, it's actually Mold Breaker, which is...
Okay, that's fair. You can have Mold Breaker. Like, that's fair. It helps you hit the Rotoms, and his team doesn't really like Rotoms.
Yeah.
Whimsicott on the field is kind of awkward for... if it has something that can reduce, I don't think it has anything that can reduce defense stats on the Arcanine, but it could maybe Helping Hand Icicle Crash into the Arcanine. I don't know. Icicle Crash goes into the Protect. Moonblast into the Arcanine spot.
Nope,
No,
goes into
double
the
Protect. And then Max Flare into the Darm to take that knockout. So it looks like game 1 goes to Owen. Yeah.
Yeah, because now with that Darmanitan being knocked out, Brian has pretty much lost all of his offensive pressure at this point. Whimsicott definitely not going to be able to solo the rest of the game against Arcanine and Excadrill.
Whimsicott, and then against Excadrill, Arcanine. And with game 1 going to Owen, I'm going to leave the stream for a minute to set up game 2.
All right, well, we will await Rajan coming back as he goes to do what he just said, which is going to be setting up that stream. So very well played game to Owen there. Unfortunately the sleep powder miss, and well, actually that was on Owen's side, but unfortunately the max sleep turns there on Brian's side really costing him in the end game there. And Inteleon potentially could have made some moves there if it was able to stay away, because Arcanine did lower its defenses, so potentially a water type attack from Inteleon could have been really huge onto Arcanine, but that's just the game we play this time. Oh, sorry, wait, hold on, it's supposed to be the other way. Okay, 0-1. Okay, so yeah, we're going into game 2 now. We're just setting it up real quick.
You're good.
And he's back.
Hello. They've been cleared to go. Back to game 2. That was a really interesting back and forth. The big issue on Brian's side of the field was the Inteleon going to sleep before he got to do any more damage. And even though Owen missed the sleep powder against the Duraludon, he was able to preserve his pieces and take a surprise knockout with what I think was the choice band close combat on the Duraludon, and then pivot off of that with a Dynamax into Flare Blitz and Max Lightning, really showing the value of being able to have a choice item prior to Dynamax and then switching into a being able to switch your moves when you Dynamax. He really showed the value of that interaction. And Arcanine has great coverage for that sort of thing too, with Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Wild Charge, and even Choice Band Extreme Speed.
Yeah, Arcanine definitely has a lot of options, so switching its moves definitely a good thing to have, and having that Choice Band to boost its power. Arcanine, like you said, has a very, very diverse move pool, a lot of great attacks that it can make use of, and Dynamax letting him switch mid-game after it's already locked. It's a good thing to have, but we're going to see Owen change up his game plan this time. We're going to see the Dragapult and the Togekiss, a lead that we've seen before, a pretty classic lead this format, and meanwhile we're going to see the Inteleon and Whimsicott again from Brian's side.
I still want to see something like a Fake Tears from the Whimsicott so the Inteleon can just take knockouts it's really not allowed to take, but both players making their moves very quickly, not caring about the game timer whatsoever. Seeing an early Dynamax from the Inteleon from Brian once again, thinking that he wants to put out the damage as quickly as he can, and to keep it from taking a hit from the Dragapult that's too strong for it to actually take. Follow Me coming in from the Togekiss. Then Whimsicott might go for the Tailwind, or I still think it has Fake Tears, and it does! Yes!
It does have the Fake Tears, as you suspected.
Fake Tears and the Max
Fake
Vortex,
Tears.
Max Geyser, whatever the heck it is, knocks out the Togekiss.
Yeah, especially with the power being boosted by the max move there. Dragapult going for Dragon Dance here, just not even caring about anything that's going on here.
Hailstorm.
Max
Fine.
Hailstorm.
That's
So
fine.
yeah, honestly, Brian just being careful, just wanting to get that super effective damage. Gonna go clean into the Togekiss, gonna get the knockout here. But that Dragon Dance isn't really too bad for Brian, considering he does have the option for Prankster Tailwind on the very next turn.
And it is my understanding that a Inteleon with its doubled speed is faster than a Dragapult at +1.
Oh, absolutely.
And then the Dragapult, though, probably can eat a Max Hailstorm if it Dynamaxes.
Mm-hmm.
But then
If it gets Fake Tears,
it can't. Clear Body.
right.
So, even if he was able to, he wouldn't have the speed to be able to respond more effectively. So the Arcanine comes back in with its not that much value out of the Intimidate right now, but it's putting out a lot of pressure with the Max Lightning or the Max Flare if Dynamaxed or CB damage, or it's just choosing to switch it out. I don't understand that play per se.
Yeah, because now he's switching into another Pokemon that has
That would
water weakness.
Yeah, it's
so
switching Arcanine into that.
So we're just going to see Max Guard here. Potentially Brian predicting that Dragapult potentially Dynamaxing and going for a Max Phantasm or Max Wormwind into the Inteleon, but instead Owen just going for another Dragon Dance.
Now it's definitely faster than the Inteleon.
Yeah, pretty much
Tailwind.
basically matching Whimsicott's Tailwind. So Dragapult not going to mind the Tailwind whatsoever. One thing I wanted to note is that, setting up Hail here is actually kind of unfortunate for Brian because he forcibly breaks Whimsicott's Focus Sash if he has
Also
it.
breaks the Excadrills. Can I say that last turn confused me?
How so?
In that I don't get what Owen did or why it worked.
I mean, he just kind of clicked Dragon Dance and Brian
I just don't get why the Arcanine switched out into the Excadrill.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to potentially preserve it.
But why wouldn't it go into the Excadrill and then protect or something, as opposed to if he didn't want the Arcanine to take damage?
I don't know, but maybe Owen has a plan for something.
I just don't get what happened.
Yeah, I think especially switching Excadrill was risky because, you potentially have Duraludon in the back, and Duraludon would have been much harder to take down without the help of Excadrill. So potentially risking that would have been not so great if it had gone south. But, we're just going to see Dynamax from Dragapult here. Dragapult +2 now. I mean, everything. Yeah, Max Wormwind. Duraludon switching in here, yeah, it's definitely not going to be able to take that. Dragapult, very, very strong Pokemon, especially when it has doubled its attack. Whimsicott, its attack's going to fall. Doesn't really make too much of a difference there, but as we saw, Dragapult not minding the Tailwind because now itself it is at +2 speed, but, still going to take a decent chunk from
The
that
Moonblast
Moonblast.
is still pretty significant damage, but the Iron Head coming in from the Excadrill knocks out the Whimsicott. Dragapult gets to go for another +2 boosted max move against anything on Brian's side of the field. I don't really know what you're supposed to do against a +2 Dynamax Dragapult when you have 2 Pokemon and no options at Dynamax.
Yeah, we saw this kind of earlier on stream with
Kunal versus
Kunal,
Jeremy.
yeah, where we just saw Dragapult just get it was just 1 Dragon Dance back then. But now we see 2, and now that we've confirmed or kind of sort of confirmed that Darmanitan is a Choice Scarf and doesn't really its ability restricts it from being able to
There's
protect.
one potential thing, and that's if Brian. It's if Owen is targeting down the Inteleon and trying to with the Dragapult and trying to Iron Head the Darmanitan, so that the Darmanitan can. It's whether maybe he protects the Inteleon, Icicle crashes the Dragapult.
Oh, it's actually faster.
Because of Tailwind.
Oh, it's Tailwind plus the Choice Scarf, right?
Yeah,
so
so that was already
Darmanitan's
faster.
actually going to be able to outspeed Dragapult and knock it out with the Icicle Crash. And
Well, we completely forgot that happened. Then Snipe Shot taking out. Wow.
yeah, Snipe Shot actually going to be able to probably get the knockout on the
get the
Excadrill,
knockout.
which it does. And we all thought we thought it was over, but
We completely forgot.
overlooking one crucial detail that Tailwind is still up on Brian's side, so
And
he was
now-
able to secure 2 knockouts. And now with just Arcanine facing off against these 2 Pokemon that are faster and definitely able to hit Arcanine for super effective damage, at least one of them is.
Yeah, now it's clean, and now I still don't. Now I super don't get the turn that Owen risked a knockout on the Excadrill as opposed to just going to Excadrill and protecting with it.
Yeah,
Because
Brian's
like
gonna
he
take the
needed
game.
that Iron Head into the Whimsicott. He knew that the Tailwind matching would mean the Darmanitan outruns the Dragapult. I'm not really sure, but that was cool.
Yeah, Brian just going to click Protect here with Inteleon. Arcanine actually going to reveal Extreme Speed going into the Darmanitan. So Owen potentially predicting the Inteleon to protect.
Oh, that
Arcanine's
Icicle
going to
Crash
dodge
dodge
the
is
Icicle Crash.
huge.
Wait,
I mean, the E-Speed still doesn't knock out the Inteleon.
Well,
so
does it not?
I don't know.
Inteleon's not very bulky.
My guess is it doesn't. My guess it lives with like 3.
We'll have to see. Does it knock out the Inteleon?
Oh
it does,
my
It does
God!
knock out.
So
Wow.
we're gonna see if that Icicle Crash was about to 2-hit KO the Arcanine. I don't think it would.
Yeah, we're going to see if this actually matters here. But Arcanine, yeah, going to take that Icicle
Oh, yeah,
Crash
it wasn't
very
doing
cleanly.
anything. All right, so
and
it's
with that,
Then I
Owen actually wins here.
Then I super just. That was exciting.
Yeah, we're just overlooking detail after detail. I'm
getting
sorry, guys.
everything wrong.
Yeah, we were just completely off on. We thought Owen was gonna win outright, and then we
forgot
thought
about the
wait,
Tailwind,
and then we
and
thought
then-
Brian was gonna win, and now
We-
we know Owen's gonna win now.
Well, Owen took a 2-0, and we saw that neither me nor Eric seem to know what's going on.
I mean, that
at all.
protect turn was huge though, because I feel like if he didn't call that, then he would have actually.
No,
well,
actually,
it
I
doesn't
think
matter.
that was a bad
Oh yeah,
play
it doesn't
because
matter.
the Icicle Crash was doing no damage to the Arcanine.
Yeah.
So even if he whiffed the E-Speed into the Inteleon, he lived 3 Icicle Crashes because Hail ran out.
Yeah,
So he needed to E-Speed the Inteleon, E-Speed the Inteleon, E-Speed. No, he'd have to. Yeah, he'd only have to eat 3 because he'd be able to get the 4th one before it moved. And just based off the damage of the Icicle Crash we saw, he easily ate 3.
yeah.
He did not have a close combat defense drop. Hail was gone. Darmanitan was at -1. That was cool.
Yeah, Owen just had it from the get-go.
He just
I guess.
knew that you just had it, and we just didn't realize.
Didn't realize it the whole time, but Owen was in control of the game.
So, I guess I understand why he wasn't sacking the Arcanine. Obviously, the turn that he got the second Dragon Dance up. I still just don't get it.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know what exactly his plan is there, but it ended up working
It
out.
worked out great. He preserved the Arcanine. He got the knockouts he needed to with the Dragapult early, and he showed what makes his team so powerful. That while he has a balanced core, the Togekiss, Dragapult, Excadrill we often see, throwing an Arcanine in the mix and Tyranitar. He's very balanced Pokemon, but he made them strong.
Super offensive.
And
Very
it worked.
offensive.
He took advantage of the frailty of Brian's team, the Inteleon, the Whimsicott, the Darmanitan,